All right, we will start. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time and your interest in this topic. For those who already know HATO, you know we keep coming with new topics and sharing knowledge with our partners, with people from the sector, and we bring this free webinars along the year. So keep following us in social media and our website. There you will see as well in our new layout website, and there is a specific site where you can go to the HATO Insights and see what are the upcoming webinars along the year. So don't hesitate to join us every time you can. We will try to manage different time slots so that we can cover globally all our people that knows HATO and that want to know a bit more about agricultural lighting. So we have today now at 8 a.m. We have another at 5 p.m. If some of you are not able to complete the webinar, or you can inform other people from your team or contacts to join us in the afternoon, if that is possible for you. And then on next week, it will be the Spanish version. So thank you, everyone. I see enough audience this morning. That's good news. So today I'm having with me Dr. Khurshid Ahmed Khan from HATO, Pakistan. I would like to give him the microphone to introduce himself, and then we will start with the topic. Thank you, Dr. Khurshid, for being with me.
Thank you, Christabel. Dear audience, good morning to everyone. I am Dr. Khurshid Ahmed Khan, working as a head of research at HATO, Pakistan. I have completed my PhD specialization in agriculture, biological environment, and energy engineering from China Agriculture University, Beijing. And my research fellowship is from Chiba University, Japan. My research interests focus on light management plans for poultry production. As a poultry lighting expert, I have a knowledge and experience in design, installation, management of lighting system for poultry farms. As we know, dear audience, that lighting is a very essential for the growth and the health of the poultry. So lighting affects the behavior, productivity, reproduction of the birds, and therefore it is crucial to ensure the lighting conditions are optimal. So further, I can provide the best advice for you on the type of the lighting systems that would work best for you for the poultry farms, taking into account factors like age of the bird, the type of the housing, and the breed. So additionally, I can also guide you on the optimal light intensity, duration, color, to ensure the bird receive the right amount of the light at the right time. So if you have a question or concerns about poultry lighting, feel free to ask. I will do my best to assist you. I would be happy to try to help you with my knowledge and expertise. Thank you, Christabel. Now you can take over to you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Khurshid. Well, take advantage. Yes.
Yeah, you can just go.
Start. Okay. Yes. So please take advantage of his knowledge. Don't hesitate to put your comments and questions in the chat box. You can find it in the control bar underneath your screen. You know, you cannot open your microphone, but we want to keep the presentation dynamic. So please participate in our polls by putting your comments and questions. Everything that pops up when we go through the presentation, you can write it on the chat. Dr. Khurshid will have a look into it and will answer questions when it is possible. And at the end, we will leave the room for discussion, and we will open the Q&A session so we can further answer your questions. So we will start. Just want to introduce myself shortly. Most of you know me already. My name is Cristabel Huerta Lopez. I'm the brightness consultant within HATO. I have been working with HATO for 5 years, where I started as a business development manager for Latin America and other countries in Europe. This has been enlightened me with this tool of bringing knowledge to the audience, because I have seen in certain regions it was a lack of awareness of the importance of lighting. But nowadays this topic pops up more and it gets interest with the operational managers, with the producers, when they see really that lighting is an essential part in every poultry farm. So that is what we want to share with you, that lighting, we will see it as a photobiological perspective, but also as a management tool that will help you to influence on animal behavior, and that also helps to improve animal well-being, and with that you'll see better results in your farm. So let's see how we can create this optimal light climate, and how can we overcome those challenges that we might be facing in a laying hen farm. Just be aware that this webinar is really for those that wants to know more about lighting. Perhaps you are already on a light expertise, or you have already experienced a lot. This can be something that you might know already, but yeah, we always get new questions, new things, other perspective to see it. So this is always good to listen, and that we will now today focus only on laying hens farms. All right, so welcome, and let's start. So we have first a poll here.
So
yes.
So let's talk about the audience. What is the role in the poultry sector? What is your role in the poultry sector? Being an operation supervisor, veterinarian, consultant, producer, farm owner, technician or installer, sales, and others. So dear audience, you can choose your profession so that can help us to understand your field of expertise. So kindly fill this poll as soon as possible.
Yes, so you are now able to choose your question in the box. Just click on the option. And then when majority has answered, I will end the poll. And that helps us indeed to know what is your perspective in the poultry sector in regards to this topic. All right, so people has answered. We'll end it, and we have here majority people from sales, operations supervisor. We see as well farm owners or producer. Okay, I'm surprised there is no veterinarian consultant in here. Perhaps their owner couldn't answer. And other, so any other profession here, if you can put it in the chat, that also give us an idea of the audience here. Thank you very much. So we will continue with the presentation. All right. So just as giving an introduction about HATO itself, well, I will just explain our tagline, that is the essence of HATO, improving life through brightness, meaning that we come with innovative solutions into the poultry sector, where you see also different applications also in livestock farms like dairy, cattle, pigs, and of course where most experience we have is in the poultry sector. This to improve animal well-being, but also to make the life easier of the farmer, of our partners in the sector, so the dealers, as we offer sustainable lighting solutions that will help you to do your farming in a more responsible way. So we want to bring this knowledge, this brightness, not only by offering this lights that will help to improve farm results, but also sharing this knowledge to know what you can do and how to get the maximum benefits of lighting. And this knowledge is that we own it by ourselves, but it's everything that we have gained along this almost 50 years of experience in the market by bringing the right solution for all different applications, because not every farm is the same, not every application is the same, every animal perceives the lighting in different ways, so we need to adapt lighting to the needs of animals and the needs of your farm. So that is what we will discover along this presentation, to mainly know what is lights, the basic concepts of lights, the properties of lights, and then bring this into a laying farm. So what is going on or happening in the different type of housing. Okay, so just a very quick. Light, as definition, as you can see there, is the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum, so the color vision. And as you see it there is the visible lights of that we perceive the daylight as white light, but it is a combination of all these wavelengths that are the different colors. Each wavelength is a specific color of light, and this combination of colors is what makes the white light. That is why light daylight of white light is a polychromatic light. So many colors are in there. And this is what is important to have in a poultry farm, that we can simulate daylight. Even when you have an open house, of course, you get already a sufficient daylight in it, but you need to see if in your full house, are you getting enough light also inside the house in the middle lanes, and that this is similar to your daylight. Now, if you have a closed environment, a closed house with a climate control, then of course the artificial lighting becomes a more important role in your farm, because you are missing the daylight. And all these colors, you have to see it as vitamins for your animals, that they need each color for their proper growth, because each color influences in different ways in their behavior, in their biorhythm, and in their biological process in general. So that is why we need that white light that simulates daylight. And as you see here, you have a spectrum that is how we look into the representative solar spectrum that covers from the ultraviolet until the infrared. So that is important to keep it in mind, so that we will understand the other key aspects of lighting and how influences in a poultry behavior. All right, so we have here another poll.
So we have another poll there. What aspects do you consider important in lighting installation? Durability, energy savings, light intensity, light distribution, others. So you have a choice what kind of light you choose before installation, and what factor you look into it.
And that, so people is answering already. Give you a few time. Okay, well, majority has answered. If you have another aspect that pops up your mind, please write it in the chat, so we also know what you have experienced. All right, so we'll end the poll by now. I will now share results. Well, majority is looking into light distribution. Energy savings, of course, light intensity, a topic that is well known when you think about lighting, and of course, durability. That's very good. And a few others about other aspects. So, well, good to know that something that is in your mind about it. So if you see at these options, when we talk about durability and energy saving, is more about the technology of the lamps. So how good is the quality? If this is with a high efficiency, that will help you to save some power consumption, and then give you more luminosity, so that you see that higher energy efficacy lumen per watt. So then you will do some savings and having more light intensity out of that lamp. And with that, durability is again the quality of the materials of what is built, and if that really can handle extreme environments like we have in a poultry house. But that is more about the lamp itself and the technology of the type of light source that you might have, but it's not telling you about the properties of light. So what really influences on animal behavior, and that is light intensity and light distribution, to name a few of them. So we will review here another ones that also has to do that we need to pay attention to have the right solution. And if we can combine this with other aspects, then we can have an ideal solution at a poultry farm and look into an optimal light climate. All right, so we'll continue. Here is again how animals perceive this light spectrum, and as we see, that differs per species, and that depends on the biological process. So we see here that the perspective of the light spectrum from poultry, it is wider than the one from humans. So we perceive this light spectrum different that poultry does, and they are more sensitive to it. So they can perceive the ultraviolet, something that humans do not see, for instance. So therefore, it's very important to give a broad light spectrum in the farm that simulates daylight, that gives a polychromatic light, that gives all these colors, which is very important to poultry for their proper growth and development. Besides that, poultry perceives the light not only through the eyes, but also through the skull. And that is because they are more sensitive to light than other species. And therefore, we need to provide not only the right color of the light and a broad light spectrum, but that this goes in an even light distribution along your house, and that the light intensity goes correctly into the right area of the house. That is to really improve the bird vision, and with that you will see better behavioral responses. They will feel more at ease as they can better perceive their surroundings. They can find feed and water, and that light penetrating the skull would also help to influence their biological responses. And in a laying farm, that is very important because they can influence on egg laying performances to improve egg production and even hatchability. And that is specifically on the longer wavelengths. So if we remind the first graphic, the longer wavelengths were more into the red color, the red part of the spectrum. So therefore, color of light is also very important to achieve better results, depending what are the needs in the farm. All right. So we have here another poll.
So we have another poll, dear audience. What are the main challenges you face in layer farms? Egg production, eggshell quality, uniform sexual maturity, peaking and cannibalism, and floor eggs. So you may choose your problem so you can get your solution.
Yes, and as well, if you have other, says here the option other, but you can put it in the chat. And if you have any further question, place it and we will try to help you at the end to give you a solution. All right, people is answering. A few seconds more. Okay, so I will now answer the poll. Majority has answered, and we'll share results. All right, so here we have a big amount on the problem of floor eggs. Of course, so egg production. So I suppose here majority is having aviaries or floor housing. Then we have, of course, eggshell quality, uniform sexual maturity, and packing cannibalism, and less percentage. All right, so good to know. We will see now how can we help you and how lighting can help you to achieve better results and to overcome on this kind of challenges. So the first one, how can lighting help to improve egg production and shell strength? As such, get a broad light spectrum out of your light source, because that definitely is where we start the objective of a good lighting. So that improves poultry vision, and with that they will feel better. When hens feel better, they will perform better, and then you will see that results will increase in your farm. Why? Because you will decrease stress, you will decrease unwanted behavior, and that will help you to that they can find better feed and water. That also helps to improve the feed conversion ratio. And if they are not spending these calories on the stress and unwanted behavior, then they can use those calories to grow and to gain weight, and that really improve in productivity. So that is what lighting can help you, and from the biological process, but also from behavior. All right, so how can we get this broad light spectrum? How do we know that we are having a broad light spectrum? So as such, we are trying to simulate daylight. So I'm here comparing different light spectra from different light sources, where you can see that you might have the same color of light, but the spectrum really looks different from one from the other. So for instance, an incandescent bulb in a warm white solution that we know it is quite common to use in laying hen farms, about the 3000 Kelvin degrees. It has a wider side of the red part of the spectrum. In a laying farm, then it would be ideal, because as such, the longer wavelengths is how influences better in the school penetrates faster, and that influences their biological process, and that helps you to improve egg laying and also hatchability. But here you see that the incandescent, from a technology point of view, and to use it on a poultry farm, is not the ideal solution to have. It was a lot of energy consumption. Electricity was quite high, and they were broken quite easily. So replacement spare parts was also an expensive thing to have incandescent lights in a poultry farm. Therefore was the main reason to change to fluorescent lights, to do the savings on energy. But we forgot what the properties of light were doing or influencing on the poultry, and that is what a lot of studies went on, that it was really a change in behavior with birds. So you see the light spectra here is very short, so here we are not really improving sight in birds. It can last longer, the fluorescent lights, but it's within other key aspects of lighting. A spectrum is one of them. It is not either the ideal to have in a poultry farm. So if you compare that with LED lighting, you see that here the broad spectrum is wider. and it has presence of all the colors in a more even way. In this case, you have a higher peak in the yellow-orange because we are talking about warm white solution, so that it goes more on the red part of the spectra. If we will have a cool white solution, so the peak on the blue-green part will be higher and this bit lower, but it's still even, and that is more similar in the way that poultry perceive a light spectrum, so that we can really improve sight and improve their well-being, and they will perform better, they will feel better. And besides that, so LEDs is really the nowadays technology in livestock farms, because it matches and can comply, let's say it, in the needs of animals in regards to properties of lighting. Because with light spectra, we see here a broader light spectrum. We will review other aspects that is also better with LED lights, but also the technology, due to the miniaturization of the LEDs, you can play with the different designs in order to give the right light intensity at the right place of your house, depending on the type of house. And also the light distribution is better and has a higher efficacy compared with fluorescent or other light sources. So you will consume less power, less energy, and it gives more luminosity. And that is what also matters for the farmer and operations, to reduce costs and get better performances. Okay, so how can lighting help to reduce packing? So here's the other challenge that people were talking about. So here we go to other properties of light, that is dimmable and flicker-free lights. And in this case, flicker, well, I will explain, but those is really to reduce stress, again, to optimize poultry welfare. And that also stimulates natural behavior when you are able to dim lights, again, simulating daylight. And also to have the right color of light, because as such, every color influences in a different way. And we need to know what we want to achieve to get better results. And with that, lighting can manage your flock in a better way. You know, by dimming a light intensity, for instance, can help you to activate your flock, or well, to reduce that activity, to reduce that stress, that pecking, and that keeps birds calmer. Here we will go a bit more in detail to understand what is light flicker, for instance. Here is the fluctuation in light intensity of a lamp that influences poultry even before it is visible to humans, and that flicker is perceived as a threat. So that it is a constantly on and off of the light. I will play now this short video so you can have an idea how flicker looks like. You see there a solution of HATO compared with other one that is all the time flickering, and the HATO solution is steady, is stable. It is no flicker at all. And this flicker is not always perceived by us, but by poultry all the time, because they perceive it through the eye, but also through the skull. And that is what that fluctuation is like a constant on and off of the lamp, and it's like light and shadow, and those shadows are perceived as a threat, like a predator is coming close to them. So therefore, we really need to look for flicker-free lights, because that stresses a lot the birds, and that is what leads to unwanted behavior. That piling, smothering, pecking, and that of course increased diseases, mortality, and then lower your performances. And that is possible to measure with a right light meter that can measure flicker. There you can get percentages, flicker index, frequency, and then you really know if you are having flicker-free lights or not. Okay, so that to improve animal well-being. Then dimmability, also to have a dim curve of dimmability, dimming lights from 100 to 0%. what really simulates daylight, to stimulate natural behavior. That is also important that when dimming lights is not flickering, because again, it's stressing birds, and that helps you to prevent sudden stress responses if you compare to those lights that you put on and off and suddenly at 100% light intensity and then completely dark. It would increase heart rate and also energy usage. So again, then you can simulate daylight and keeps bird calmer, and with that reduce stress and reduce unwanted behavior. Here I want to share some data with you regards independent research. Here comparing a lamp with a high flicker index. It was measured about 0.66, which is very high. So it was a discotheque there inside. And they had a lot of issues on stress, on pecking, diseases that they didn't want to eat. And of course, that you see in less productivity. So they did a follow-up from 16 to 67 weeks by changing the lights to HATO without flicker. And that was really a change in productivity, an increase of 2% if you compare those lights with HATO and those flicker lights. And it's only about reducing stress, having a better well-being and feel more at ease, that you influence in a positive way, the hands will feel better, and then you see the difference in productivity. All right. And then about the color, having the right color in the farm. As said, talking about a polychromatic light is that you measure the color of the light in Kelvin degrees, as what we were talking about, a cool white or warm white, and that most common to use and recommended in a laying hen farm is warm white solution, so about the 3000 Kelvin degrees or less, because reduces activity, decreases that unwanted behavior, and also helps you to improve sexual stimulation and egg laying performances, having more part of the red spectrum. The cool white we will recommend only during rearing periods. If you are able to mix those two colors in a laying farm, that also can help. But if not, then having the warm white is the best to use in the laying farm. The rearing periods with a cool white is because having a higher part of the blue and green part of the spectrum helps to increase a bit activity, and that improves growth and also strength, muscles and bones. But that can also lead to increased unwanted behavior due to a higher activity. So that is also something to keep an eye on, and also keep always seeing how your flock is behaving. And about monochromatic light, it is to use only one color of light. So in this case, this is what we have seen as an added value to add to your white light. So in the case of reds, if you mix it with the warm white light, it can help you to reduce feather pecking. If that problem is quite high, that you are even having cannibalism issues, then ideal is to use only red color or more red than the white, because the red camouflages the blood, the wounds, and that will help you to reduce and take away the problem. Because they will not see those red spots, and they will suddenly stop pecking. If you want to avoid pecking, you can already have a solution in warm white and then start mixing the red in the white, because that we have seen also in independent research and studies that that helps to let's say to extend the non-pecking period by mixing red into the white color. Also to stimulate the egg laying performance is what the red light helps you. So especially for aviaries and floor housing, we recommend that you can have a solution where you can mix the reds and use it according to your needs and how your flock is behaving. When you are having a cage housing, the warm white is good enough because you have your birds and cages are more controlled, and in aviaries or floor housing, there is a free mobility. So there is what you need, more tools to manage your flock in a way that you get an optimal behavior and that they can use properly the system. So their lighting is really a tool that can help you to manage your flock properly. So let's go, because I see we're reaching time already. Well, here is about how to help to improve sexual maturity. Well, for both cases of cage housing or aviaries, it is about creating equal living conditions all along your house or along your system, so that you know what is the light intensity that you want to reach in that specific area, that you can measure. That is also always good, just to assure that you are getting the right light intensity, but knowing that it really goes where it should go. So in the case of cage housing, you need to measure the light intensity on the feed tray. That stimulates a feed and water intake. So that light intensity should go also uniform in the whole level, the whole tier. So that you are sure that it's not going very bright and just under the lamps, and then besides is less light intensity, so that you have this zebra effect of light shadow. So that is not having an even an even light distribution in the house. The same happens with aviaries or floor housing, that the light intensity should be higher in the activity areas and darker closer to the nest, to have the proper behavior, and that you can improve on the sexual maturity with the right light stimulus where it should go, and to have a uniform results. All right. So, well, here again to show some numbers regards research. This is in a laying house with cage housing, where we are comparing two different lamps. The uniformity was about 69% and the other 50%. And there you see also a difference in productivity. So where you get a less uniformity, then you see here in the orange line that is not going in a uniform way. And in this case, even one lamp was located or positioned in a vertical way, and the other, the orange one, in a horizontal way. So this also we are not saying that you should have vertical weight, but depends on the design and how the light distribution goes away from that lamp, that gives you the most even light distribution along the aisles, and that it goes really into the feed tray. Uniform performances along the house. So here again, we are talking about 2.6% increase in laying percentage. Now, about reduced floor, the biggest challenge mentioned here. Well, of course, I hope everything is okay, because saying that internet connection was not okay. But right, so here in floor X is again about optimal light intensity and light distribution. Here, because the free mobility, it's really that you need to have multiple zones of light, meaning that you can cover each area in different way, because you need different light intensities to learn your poultry how to use the system. and that this goes in an optimal way in order to reduce the amount of floor eggs. So how is that? As said, well, lighting density depends on many factors, but you would know what is the type of house, location, breadth, the light management that is set according to the genetic line, and the phase of life, and so on. But try to see and measure that this lighting density goes, again, even, uniform along the system. Then manage your lighting density by having dimmable lights. That also helps you to reduce stress, to reduce unwanted behavior, that helps you to keep the birds calmer or activate them or lead them to go into the system the way you want. Right, so we have here an image that says how can you have different lights in the house, in an aviary. So here, for instance, we see 3 different lights. We have the tubular LED light, but mostly should have less illuminance, because it is positioned in the system. So you need to attract birds into the system, but this light shouldn't shine too much because that's uncomfortable for them. So they need a darker area where they can retreat and they can feel at ease, feel comfortable, and for sure in the area of the nest should be dark. Then they have the idea that there is the place to go and lay the eggs. Then you have the main lighting, which is positioned on the corridors, above the corridors, and that has to be a wider light spreads, and that goes also uniform. That gives a sufficient light, because that is what creates the activity area. All right. And you have as well, in some cases, the perch lighting, which is situated above the system. And that is another way to attract the birds to the top of the system, that they go to the perches. So if you have this optimal light climate, light environments in the aviary house, then can help you to train your birds to use the system properly, because you can dim those different lights apart, and with that you are teaching them how to use the system. So you can start turning off the light from the main lighting, or underneath, if they have access underneath the system. It's also very important to have sufficient light, because if there are shadows created by the system, by other parts of equipments, and certainly not having light in there, they will lay the eggs there. So you just need to have sufficient luminosity along the house, and then you can turn that off, and then turn off the main lighting, and at the end the perch lighting, in order that they would go and get attracted to the system, and then use the perches properly, so that you don't get birds on the floor, and avoid floor eggs as well. And again, with all other properties of light that we mentioned, so dimmable lights, flicker-free lights, color of light can also help you to reduce feather pecking. So that is actually what the optimal light climate is, and what helps you in a laying farm to reach better results. So here is just a short video how it looks, our lights in an aviary. Right. So, well, I think we can now have some room for the questions and answers. I will just show quickly some of our HATO lighting solutions. Not that we will go in details, but you see that design is very important to apply on the different type of housing and applications. So that we won't have just one for all laying hen farms, but that really depends on your needs, and of course to know what are the challenges that you are facing in order to offer you the right solution, to give you the light assessment. So to have a light plan is really necessary to give the best recommendation, and that we are covering all these aspects of lighting, having for sure high quality materials that will last long, that those are waterproof, that makes your life easier so that you don't need to replace the lights every time, that you can easily clean, do your cleaning with the water pressure will not be a problem at all, higher energy efficacy. So that you will see that you can reduce costs in multiple ways by having an optimal light climate. And with that is by improving poultry site, improving well-being, and then you see better performances, and of course having better results in a responsible way. So, well, I give the microphone to Dr. Kurshid if he has seen anything in the chat box, or give
Yeah, we
just,
have. Thank you
yeah.
very much, Christabel, for your knowledge and expertise. We have a questions from Maria Zahra. She says that what about sodium bulbs? Are they good for the poultry, or what kind of their beneficials are? Sodium bulbs.
Sodium bulbs. Well, from all different light sources that are in the market, ideal really to have is LED lighting, because that is nowadays technology, also about durability, quality, about simulating daylight. So really the color that it comes more clear with LED lights, with that if you compare with any other bulb that we have not mentioned here, that was a CRI, so that improves color vision. So it's not about having only the broad spectrum, but all these properties that we are mentioning, also flicker-free lights. So really the LEDs is the best to use. So if you compare also with sodium bulbs or incandescent or fluorescent lights. Yeah.
I think, Krista, these kinds of bulbs has been used now in street lights or some security lights, or they are more in orange color in these days.
Exactly.
So these lights cannot be put into the poultry houses for the productions, or some other kind of beneficiaries cannot be obtained from these kinds of lights. So we have another question from the same participant. What is the wavelength range or the bulb temperature when you say red light?
Sorry, I didn't. So the range of.
Yeah. Actually, she says that what is the wavelength range?
At the wavelength range, yeah, it is, well, the wider side, let's say about what is exactly the number, into the 500 around,
Yes.
that is having more of the red light, but
Bright
we are
light.
talking about having a polychromatic light, so you will see the measurements of the other colors as well, but then you should see a higher peak on the red around the 500s, meaning that you are having more reds in it. So that is the famous lambda peak. So if you have a light meter and then you can measure the light spectrum, there you will see this lambda peak, and that should be in this area. Yeah.
And the temperature should be around 3000 or 2900 kelvins.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, that what we recommend on laying farm.
Laying farms, yes. So up to, we have these two questions up till now. So if you want to continue for the further, you can add something.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if you want to add anything else, Dr. Khurshid, just to give them the time to write
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to just recommend and says that lighting serve as a crucial environmental component in poultry farms. So it not only supplies ambient lighting in the surrounding, but also regulate the physiological reactions, behaviors, development, reproduction, performance of the layers. So the lighting conditions, higher or dim, create stress, which endangers the biological stability, then often exhibits modification into the production functions, growth and development. So if the birds are unable to adjust to these modifications on environment, so there is a very most of effects onto these birds. So the layers which are reared under the stress lighting, sometimes they cannot develop their circadian rhythm or affecting their practically all physiological functions. So the light actually roots to the significant changes into the endocrine system, sometimes mainly into the pituitary gonadal axis, gonadotrophin hormones, for example, luteinizing hormones, which are very important for the secretion of the follicle stimulating hormone, FSH or LSH. So prolonged lighting stress into the surrounding manifest sometimes metabolic disorders, early maturity, reduces lifetime span, and abnormal gonadal and body weights. So we need to understand the importance of the lighting for the layers according to their breed, according to the housing type, and to the management plans as well. So that's from my point of view, that we should consider these things for the better production, for the better beneficial profitability.
Yes, indeed. So you see that light really goes from the photobiological perspective,
Yes, that's
but also management of the flock.
yes, that's
Yes.
the key. That's the key.